This is Joycey,
And Blake.
and welcome
Welcome
to
to
Savagely
Savagely
Scared.
Scaled. Sorry, I
And
was trying to look at your lips.
Savagely Scared.
Hello.
In this episode, guys, we're going to be reviewing the best to the worst open workouts that both Blake and I have experienced. Mind you, I've only had like 5 or 6 years of experience, and Blake probably has way more to speak to, so that's going to be much more exciting. But let's get into it.
Four, three, two, one.
So like JC said, we're going over the open. We had a great idea about talking about, of course, why you should do the open, right? But I also feel like if we do that over and over again, then people are like, every February, this is the same episode. But I thought it would be really, really fun if we talked about the workouts and Tracy agreed to, and then really talked about like what our favorite were, what the ones we
Mhm.
hope never come back are. And then maybe go into like what we debrief about, why the open still matters, if we get excited, Friday night light energy, how the open challenges mental, how it challenges us mentally, learning to celebrate even if we don't do what we want as the best, and why showing up is already a win. So, kicking that off, do you want the bad news or the good stuff first? Choice.
I was going to say the worst, right? Makes
All
sense to
right.
me. Get it out of the way.
No. What was one of your worst that you're like,
Uh,
I don't ever want to see again?
Oh man, 2021 was a rough year for me. I feel like I have 2 workouts listed on here from 2021. Oh man, I guess because maybe it was because it was my first, like, year doing the open, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It was probably just an overall difficult experience, which I guess speaks also to, a very common feeling for many of those out there who are doing the open for the first time, like, feeling like, "Oh man, like, it's a rough, like,
Yeah.
3 workouts." Like, it's supposed to be a rough 3 workouts. And, I definitely felt it, but 21.3, which was for time. It was a 15 front squat at 65 pounds women, 95 men, 30 toes to bar,
Uh-huh.
15 thrusters at the same weight, and then you rest a minute and you do it again, but instead of the toes to bar, you do chest to bar pull-ups,
Mhm.
rest a minute, and then lastly, you do it again, but instead of chest to bars, you're gonna do 30 bar muscle ups.
Okay.
And the time cap was 15 minutes. I think since it was my first, like, I was just doing, like, the knees to chest for my toes to bar and kinda jumping, like, pull-ups,
Mhm.
that. Um, but again, I just remember that being very hard, and it was at the time when the gym was very small. And I vividly remember my jumping pull-ups and where I was doing them and just how exhausted my arms were, from making sure I was reaching extension at the bottom. Because I think I might have gotten a no rep or 2 because I still had my, like, elbows folded or bent, and I was
Oh,
just like, "Ugh." And it's the little things, man, it's the little things that you don't think about, and then thrusters, for a first time open, having to do a thruster, that's, with awful mobility that I already have and still have, like, that was rough. That was very rough for me. I don't know if you remember
yeah.
judging that one.
Yeah, that one, I feel like any of them that, like, start off with, like, toes to bar or pull-ups, a lot of people who first sign up for the open are like, "Well, I can't do that workout," and
Any
I'm
of
like,
that.
the
Yeah.
point is to see what you can do and maybe get your first pull-up or your first toes to bar or your first double under, things like that. And I know some seasons we have those workouts towards the end or the last
Mm.
workout. And point being is to be like, okay, the first workout everybody can do. The second one we might have to either scale. I know they have foundations, or we can still hit that RX. And then the third one is a really big tester. They're all testing, but it depends on what you want to be tested each workout.
Mhm.
There's some of us who are like, hey, well, I want to try to do one RX, or I did foundations and I want to do now scaled one. It's just the culmination of that. And to start with toes to bar is really hard because we can be like, okay, pull ups, and you get
Right.
your first pull up. But toes to bar is just a different kipping master at times that it can just throw you off. And there's so many different rules, right? The extension, your heels have to start back, and then your toes have to hit, not just one toe, both toes at the same time. There's so many things compared to getting your first pull up that when they threw that one in for it, I was like, "Oh, so many people are gonna be so mad."
Mhm. It's so quick, like, when I'm thinking of me doing it now, even then when if I got to the toaster bar, I'd definitely slow down there
Mhm.
significantly, and then chest to bar, that's another big one. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a lot of skill that, like you said, as a first person coming in, you're just like, "What?"
And you're
So
still,
but it
like,
is
wanting
CrossFit.
yeah, and you wanna make it competitive for the RX athlete,
Mhm.
right? Like, if we're doing everything together that first workout, the RX athletes are doing it more for speed, where newcomers are just doing it to see how far they can get or even try and finish, and by the time
Mhm.
the culmination of the open ends, we still want those RX athletes to push, because there's some RX athletes that they might get their first bar muscle up. Also, they might not have that and do it that way, or
Right.
connecting larger numbers of things to training wise. And I think now we can call that intermediate
Mhm.
compared to RX and scaled. There's just such a wide spread of athletes
Yeah.
that are more scaled intermediate than
Mhm.
intermediate RX because
Yeah.
they keep pushing that ceiling. So the perfect ceiling to go to is the open. And I think that's why I still really enjoy it and seeing those things, but knowing that there's hard workouts.
Yeah.
I don't think I remember doing that one, which tells me that it wasn't one of the ones that I don't like. I believe I didn't.
That year, were you judging and participating?
Yeah, I've participated every year so far still, even when I was pregnant.
Love it.
I didn't there was during Harper's pregnancy, though, I didn't go to an affiliate, so I don't have judging for that year, I still did the workouts.
Oh,
But yeah, the open is something that, like, I still get really excited for, I still love to do, I still love to sign up, I love to judge, I love to do Friday Night Lights, but, like, if I don't remember a workout or I remember parts of it, it was rough, but it wasn't something that I hated.
gotcha.
And thrusters are usually rough, but, like, when you do 65, 65 is it's gonna be not nice, but you're gonna have to do it. It's just,
Right.
and it's a lot of arms with pull-ups. So it was probably a burner, but nothing that I was like, "Ah, it'll be,
Nothing Blake can't handle.
it's just gonna suck, but it'll be fine." And it's only 15 minutes. I'm gonna work out for 15 minutes. There's some of
That's
them
fair,
that I
yeah.
look at it that way, and I'm like, "I'll work out for 15 minutes." Blake does not
And I'm
like to
done.
work out for 15 minutes. I love 5 minutes or less, or 12 minutes,
Mm.
and an
Okay. Okay.
AMRAP, but when
Yeah,
it's
that's a sweet spot for Blake.
yeah, but when it's, like, 30 minutes, I was like, "I really don't wanna work out for 30 minutes, but here we go."
That's rough,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but for the open, it's
Imagine a
just like
Saturday class. Oh my
yeah,
god.
you just gotta do it, and you gotta
It's
get it
true.
over with, and everybody's doing doing it with you. It's just like another day, but we all don't wanna do it.
Which makes it feel a whole lot better.
Yes.
Oh, man. And then somehow you just find the energy. You find the pump once everyone's there, and it just, like, elevates you, I feel, which is, I think, the
Yeah,
best
it's
part of
just
it all.
like it brings a smile to my face, like, I'm just super excited
Yay,
for
so
our
into
Friday Night Lights and the open and doing
it
that.
is a fun time.
Yeah. So the workout I have, and this has been a retest, and I hate this workout. It is one that I remember, and I hated it both times that I had to do it. It's 17.1. It's, um, 10 dumbbell snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs, 20 dumbbell snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs, 30 dumbbell snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs, 40 dumbbell
Ouch.
snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs, and so on. And it's just one
Yeah.
dumbbell, and the box is at 24 for guys, 20 for ladies. The dumbbell is 35 for ladies, 50
Mhm.
for Guys, the reason why I don't like this, I love the snatches. They are full snatches, they're not hangs. I don't like burpee box jump overs, and the number stayed the same. It was 15.
A burp
Burpees, first of all, always get my stomach. And I think it's especially in the open when you're hitting the floor so
or
hard and you're
bending
trying to
down
do
and
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. And like, I'm short, so jumping, I have to jump even more.
And the angle is so weird because you
Yeah.
burpeed, so it's like yeah,
Yeah, and you, like, have to, like there's the tape rules of lining up against the tape,
that's right.
but, like, the first time I did this workout and the second time I did this workout, I threw up.
No way.
Yeah, the second one, I remember, Simmons was my judge, and the reason why like, the first time I threw up was because burpees just upset my stomach, so it was just like, "Oh, okay." The second time we did
Oh,
this, I
man.
was judging, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." And Amanda made her amazing cookies,
Ugh.
and I'm just eating cookies and doing all living my best life, and they're like, "Oh, somebody has to go by themselves." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So
And they're
sad.
like, "But we don't wanna make them go by themselves." And I was like, "Well, I just ate, like, 5 cookies."
Jeez.
And, like, I'm over here just, like, ready to just party with food.
I
I'm like,
remember
"Do
you
you
told me
think
this
you
story.
can" Yeah, and they're like, "Do you think you can go?" And I was like, "Well, I don't want anybody to work out by themselves either." And everybody
Yeah,
else had already gone, and I was like, "Okay." And so there we are,
yeah.
and Chris is like, "Come on, you can go faster," all this stuff. And I'm just keep, like, trying to breathe, and I'm like, "Imma throw these cookies up." And
Oh,
I
what the
tried to, like
circle.
every time I box jumps would be like, "Trash can,
Dude,
trash."
I could imagine.
Can, and I kept pointing to a trash can, and he's like, "I don't know." He's probably like, "I have no idea what she's going through," like
Ugh.
and I finally just like, "Give me a trash can!" And I held it all the way
Oh
until the
my
end, and I grabbed the trash can, and those cookies just came up, and I was like, "This is why I hate this workout."
gosh.
First
Oh
of
my
all,
goodness.
yes, and I was just like
I do hate
and,
the
you
hinge
know,
so
when
much.
you're doing snatches from the floor, you can't touch your leg, you can't do all this stuff, you gotta do burpees, you gotta do, like,
Mhm.
so many things, and the first time I did it, I believe I kinda threw up or I got nauseous, either one, because it just burpees and box jumps don't mix with me, and then,
Ugh.
yeah, that second time, I was like, "This is the worst workout, I hate this workout, now I ate cookies, now I'm throwing up." Like, yeah, I was like, "I don't ever wanna see this workout again." It's such a
Ugh.
simple workout that I
It's like
hated it that much.
yeah. It's the hinging too, because you 'cause you're right, I did do some I think it was burpees and then directly into dumbbell snatches, and something about the like you said, the flexion of just, like, kinda being arched in your belly so much made me
Mhm.
wanna throw up, and I'm like, "That's an awful feeling," but you feel fine once you kind of get out of that position, it's just the
Yeah.
constant core is just
And I
awful.
think, like, the first year we had to do it, you had to jump in and out to call it RX, and then when we retested it,
Ugh.
that's when they're like, "No, you can walk down, but have to jump up," or something like that, like, they changed the rules, like, CrossFit
Oh my god.
sometimes changes rules for things and, like, jumping over stuff, they've changed different things. But back in the day, like, you had to jump out and jump back in, or that's the rule
Ooh,
my old gym had, I don't know.
I don't like that.
Yeah, for it to count as RX. So I think halfway through,
Yeah.
Simmons was also like, "You can stop jumping," and I was like,
Save
"What?"
your energies. Yeah,
Yeah,
that helps so
and
much.
so or I had in my mind that we had to do that because that was just back in the day, like, old school for me. Was jumping in and out was RX. Nowadays, I'm like,
Wait.
"Oh, we don't have to do that, I'm good."
Oh, so do you now just step usually when they ask you to do burpees? Are you a stepper or a jumper?
Oh, I'm a stepper unless it has to be really quick.
I'm a stepper too. Even when it's quick, I don't. I will jump.
Yeah,
I feel like it just takes so much out of me.
it does, and then you add, like, a box to it, and like you said, hinging, like, that's also
Mhm.
depending on how tired you are from the snatches, like, your lower back is also lit up because you're
Mhm.
landing in that hinge position on the box because 'cause you're so exhausted as well. So, it was just, like, 2, 3 movements that just, like, doing it over and over and over and over and
Ugh,
over and over again, my body just hates.
dude, it sounds
So,
awful. It's
yeah.
giving me a tummy right now talking about it. I'm like, "Oh, man." But yeah, I'm telling you, that's one where I was not part of CrossFit just yet, but glad that I avoided that.
Yeah. It was
I'm noticing a pattern on all of my workouts. There's thrusters in them, guaranteed.
yeah.
But jumping into my number 2, I suppose, was the Open 23.2. And it was, I think on a 20-minute clock. It's a two-parter, mind you. Part A is an AMRAP for 15 minutes of 5
Mhm.
burpee pull-ups and 10 shuttle runs, which is 25 feet, like, out and 25 feet back. So I think you add an additional 5 burpee pull-ups after each round as well.
Yeah, so, like, you would have,
Awesome.
um yeah,
5
you'd
burpee
start with
pull-ups, 10
5, and then you do
shuttle.
10, then you do 15, then you do 20, but you always had the 10 shuttle runs.
That is awful. And I hate shuttle running. It's one of my a lot of people love it. I'm not one of those people. I do not like shuttle runs. And then after that, you go directly into 23.2, which is 5 minutes to establish a 1 rep max thruster. Although I'm not a fan of thrusters. I thought that part was okay.
Yeah.
And we got a really cool video out of it with you, me, and Coach Mary. Because we all
Yeah.
did it at the same time, but it did not feel great, I remember that. And the shuttle runs, I was just like, "Just breathe through it, survive, take your time, like, this is not your event, but it's okay, we're just doing our best."
Eh,
And the burpee pull-ups did not feel as bad as I thought they were gonna feel, though.
but, like, in your defense, like, when we had to be measured, because you had to have a certain measurement, like your fingertips or your
That's
palm or
right.
something. Couldn't and this is where Joycey's longer limbs compared to mine, because 'cause we're the same height, she had to
Yeah.
go to a taller bar because her arms are longer
Mhm.
to where I got to stay on the short bar
That's
because my
right.
yeah, because I was like, "Oh, no, definitely, you'll be over here," and I think Mary had to go but I think Mary's a little bit
Measure.
taller than us
I think she is,
because
yeah.
she was doing a different bar than me as well. She was doing, like, the bar that you were doing, but she also
You're
had,
right.
like, padding under her.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, and, yeah, I remember you had to go so you had to jump even
Yeah.
higher.
A little extra.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it
you
was
even had
rough.
it worse.
I mean, yeah, you do what you can, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I was not again, this was probably like, what is it, my 2nd or 3rd Open, and I've never encountered I don't even think at that point I had tried to ever do a max rep. I don't think we were at any point working on anything like that at the gym.
Yeah, we
So it was
don't
like a
usually do, like,
first.
max thrusters, we do, like, max in our squats, we do
Right.
our heavy Olympic lifts, even, like, strict press, maybe a push press, but nobody's ever done, max thruster. If we've done max thrusters, then it's been in reps, like, max reps of thrusters. But, yeah,
Yeah.
that was, like, I think an eye-opening for a lot of us to be like, "A max thruster?"
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was and then it was I don't know, because I felt like a thruster is a move that personally I felt like I couldn't really go very high on. Just because it has so many, like, movements, and it's not about what's your heaviest clean or because 'cause you're doing kinda like a clean and a jerk combined, so it was rough, it was really rough, and then feeling like your number wasn't that high also kinda got to me a little bit mentally, but at the same time, I was like, "It's a thruster." I'm like, "We're talking about a
Yeah, I was
thruster,
like,
that's."
didn't you do, like, 105, 110?
I think so, yeah, which at the time, I guess, wasn't awful, but
No.
yeah, I'm like, now that I think about it, it wasn't awful, but it did not feel great, that's for sure, but that's the point. No pain,
Yeah,
no gain, baby.
that's
You
one
did
of
good on that
my
one, didn't you?
yeah, it's one of my, favorite ones.
No way.
Yeah, I literally have it up on my phone, and I was like, "Yeah, this is one."
Well,
So,
tell me
yeah,
why it was your
Joyce's
favorite.
23.2A and 23.2B. I liked it because I could what is it? The burpee pull-ups were nice. The shuttle
Mm.
runs were okay. I remember they're like, "You can walk," and I was like, "If I walk, I'll go slower." Because Mary was walking, and Mary was doing, like, speed walking, and I was like, "I
Mm.
can't do that. I have to jog." I do know my
You
hamstrings
did?
were on fire, but I
Man.
really, really liked that workout. And then going into the thruster part, absolutely loved that as well. I think I hit either 120 or 130
Hmm, that's pretty
was,
good.
and we do have, like, a really cool video of us 3 doing it, and it was nice. Like, I really enjoyed that workout to where I was like, I didn't feel overwhelmed, I didn't feel burnt out, nothing was impossible. I just felt bad for you because you had to go to a higher bar.
And I was like, "Rah,
Yeah,
rah."
they're like, "How is that?" And I was like, "Again, you guys, like, she has longer limbs."
We've talked about this.
Yes, this is why you guys are like, "She's taller than you." No, same height, she just has longer legs and longer arms.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, it comes up every single time and still does to this day, and people still don't get it.
Yeah, and they're like,
Like, "We've
"No
tried
way, she's
explaining this to
taller."
you."
Yeah, I'm like, "No, she's
Yeah.
not."
It's an enigma. I'm a little bit of an enigma, I suppose.
Everybody's everybody's different but the same. But
Same,
yeah.
same.
But yeah, that was hilarious that you said that that was one you didn't like and, um, that I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Well, that's what makes us different.
Different
I'm
but
like,
the
"This is my
same.
same but different."
Yep.
Well, we each have our own strengths too, that's why, like, you're amazing when it comes to pull-ups and things like that, I feel. I feel like
Yeah, and you were still, like, getting yours and going over
Mhm.
but I also feel like it was because you had to go to that higher bar, like, you had to jump even farther
Just
than
need
I
that.
did.
Yeah.
'Cause even when I do that in class to show people, it's a like, I have to fully commit to that jump every single time, compared to when I had the smaller bar, like, I knew I would catch it, like, it's right there,
Mhm.
compared to, like, I have to full send jump, and I have to get
True.
my chin over. Yeah.
Man, nice memories, nice memories. And it makes me excited to think what they're gonna bring for this coming year.
Right? Uh, I don't know, it's always a hit or miss. Last year's Open was okay. There were
I thought
some
it
things
was
that I
nice,
was like, "These feel very similar to the year prior."
yeah. Well, yesterday. Last year was the controversial year that we were like, "Hmm, how is this gonna go?" Right?
Yeah.
So it did feel kinda off already, I feel. So this year's kind of a little bit of a quote unquote "comeback." It seems like they're really trying to, like, step up their game from what I'm seeing.
I hope
Is it
so.
Yeah. Will it translate though? I don't know.
I don't know,
But
'cause there's a lot of reels that I've been seeing about people saying, like, "I don't wanna waste my money for people
yeah,
to
and they're doing other
judge
things like high
me."
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have been
but
seeing that.
I think that's why to me, it's still like the open still matters because it doesn't matter if you're trying to chase quarterfinals or not. It's more about we get so many members who are like, well, we don't test this, we don't test that. How come we don't do a max this? And that's just not like our gym. I feel everywhere just going into quarterfinal. As a
Okay, maybe.
whole, I feel like people just always wanna be tested, and so when I'm
Uh,
like, "Sign up for the Open," they're like, "Oh, no, like, I don't wanna be judged, I don't wanna be that," and it's like, well, that's the biggest test of your season.
right. I think people
Way.
just get scared that it's not gonna be like people are watching, everyone's gonna watch you do this test, and it's gonna be kind of based on everything you've accomplished for the year, quote unquote. And people are kind of like, did I even accomplish anything? And even like, I think for people, because I'm one of those people that is sometimes like, did I even accomplish anything? And, is this open gonna be any different? I think it's not just a way of kind of testing that, but also like surprising yourself, because sometimes you do test yourself and surprisingly get something that day and you're just like, I would not have ever found this out if I never put myself in this situation. So I
Yeah.
think it's also a great opportunity for that. But it is intimidating. It sounds more intimidating than it is. That's all.
Yeah. I feel it's
Yeah.
also, like, people then start to realize, like, even our members that have been doing it for years, the standards that you still have to be held because you have that one-on-one you're
Mhm.
that one-on-one judge, which can be scary because it's like, "Oh, am I hitting all these standards? Am I doing everything correctly? Do I want to?" And January is so New Year's resolution based that I feel people should wait until February for the Open to really do your resolutions for your gym time to see, okay, how'd the Open go? What am I missing? And what can I do to get better at these? Like if you have, the 3 workouts and you pick something from each workout, those 3 movements to work on and then break your year up to work on those individually, I feel would just better so many people than I want to get these things, um, and name like 5 or 10 things and maybe just
Yeah.
go off of what happened in the open and what we can work on. That might align with some things that you want, and it might not, but I feel like people should see where they should want to grow after they do the open and maybe what areas they need to grow on and go
Yeah.
from there.
Well said.
But what are some of your favorite workouts?
I think we were talking a little bit about this before logging on, but one of my classic, even though it's a little, some might say boring, but I think it spoke very well to two of the best and most used CrossFit moves, I would say, in the CrossFit culture, which is just straight dumbbell snatches and bar facing burpees. And I really love this one because it's very simple. Like all you need is a dumbbell. And I think the cap was like 10 minutes, which wasn't like to me like, oh my God, like I was just like, okay, 10 minutes doable, can probably do that. And it was just like an increase of reps. You do one like dumbbell snatch and one burpee and then move up to two and then three and it was just repeating one rep every single round. And it was gritty in the sense that like after a while you're just like, okay, this is getting kind of boring and monotone. Like I'm doing
Mhm.
the same move. And again, it was one of the ones that surprised me because I was like, oh, I'm probably just, not going to get that far or whatnot. I really was able to kind of push myself in that last little bit. And I think at some point I was just kind of muscling them at first because they felt so good. And then I was able to kind of start jerking and things like that. So I thought it, again, very dynamic kind of workout where you can kind of try different things and move different elements there. But classic, very to the point. I loved that. And
What
again, I
year was
love
that?
snatches. Yeah, I love dumbbell snatches. So I was like, not bad. And burpees, I'm pretty good at burpees too. So to me, it was a strong workout for me.
Yeah. Well, what
Yeah.
year was that though?
22, because it was 22.2.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that
Was it like 4 years ago? My gosh. That's a long time ago.
no, 22.2 is deadlifts, girl.
Are you sure? Or was it the
I'm
20?
100% sure because I remember that it was 1 deadlift, 1 bar facing burpee, 2 deadlifts. The snatch
Right.
one
What am I
was
thinking?
24.1, where you do 21
Is that
snatches.
right? Hold on. The dumbbell snatches, 24.1. Hold on.
Yeah, but that was when you started with 21 and you'd go down. Yeah, because I remember this deadlift one. Because when you said that, I was like, I've never done that one. Was
Weird.
that
Must have
deadlift
got
one
a
is
number
a
wrong.
10-minute time cap. It was one that I redid,
Dang.
and I got better.
Maybe you're right. I must have got the numbers tweaked there. Dumbbell snatches and burpees. Anyways, you know which one I'm talking about. It must have been, if I've only been doing it for 5 years.
You did 22.2. You just got them just a little bit
Yeah, I
mixed
just
up.
confused the year.
But that one, you had 21:59.
Oh, you're right. It is
Um
24.1. It was a 15
Yeah.
minute.
I'm wrong about majority of things in life. Joycey can attest to this.
Oh,
But
let me
this
see. Like
is my
cuffless.
nonsense in my brain.
Yeah, that's 24.1, girl. You were right.
You just combine things that you want.
To happen.
Yep.
Oh,
He's
manifested,
like,
babe.
this one sounds like the perfect workout right here. And I was like, 10 minutes? That thing was
Let's just
15 or
knock it
20
down
minutes
5
because I
minutes.
remember doing that workout and then I was like, fine. I
You're
don't
right, it
remember
was not a
that. I remember
repertoire.
21 and thinking, "Oh my gosh, my arm is on fire."
Man, I'm
And
telling
I was
you.
like, "When's the one that we did?" And then I was like, "That one sounds like the deadlift one." And that wasn't light either.
Such a good memory. Yeah, 24.1, that was the one. That
Yeah,
was
you
it.
did really good on that one.
Yeah, I did pretty good there.
Yeah. That was the year I came back from my back injury, and I just took it
That's
easy.
right. Wasn't
Yeah.
that the workout that messed it up even more?
Oh, I went down like, I didn't hinge, I did more of a squat.
Ah, I gotcha.
And then, like, even my burpees, I did very, very demurely, very lightly.
Very deep.
Yeah, I still did really good that year. But yeah, I did everything because, like, I literally had hurt my back right
Ouch.
after the open. Like, what,
Right.
a month or 2 after the open, and it took me, like, a year and a half or a year to get everything together.
Dude, that was a rough year for you, dude.
It
I
was because
remember.
I was like, "I'm never gonna do the open, this."
Look at you now,
I know.
silver medalist.
But
And then she coughs.
yeah,
You're not helping my case,
always
Blake.
dying. I'm always dying.
I know, we need you back, dude, we miss you, but
Yeah, I
hopefully
miss the gym
soon.
too. Well, I have one more for
Throw it at me.
it is 16.4.
16.4.
Alright, I have also done this as a retest. I did it when I was pregnant with Weston, and I did it the year after.
Ew, that's a lot.
And I absolutely love this, and I believe Jason Potoff, this is one of his favorite too. It is a 13-minute time cap. It is an AMRAP. It is 55 deadlifts, 225 for the guys, 155 for the ladies, 55 wall balls, 20 for the guys, 14 for the ladies, 55-calorie row, and 55 handstand push-ups.
Man. So it's just chipper style?
Yeah,
Or you could
but I believe you can, if you finish it, you start back up.
oh my god.
I think, because it's an AMRAP. I really, really like this. I have also done it scaled and RX. It's one of my favorite workout. It is a rough workout, but it is my all-time favorite ones. The last
That's
time
a
I did
lot.
it, I got into, I think, 15 handstand push-ups. And if
Mm.
you were scaling it, it's the same. It's deadlifts, wall balls, calorie row, and then when you get to the handstand push-ups, it's hand release push-ups. And of course,
Hmm.
the weights are different. But yeah, so I did it when I was pregnant with Weston. I did it scaled.
My gosh.
Um, and then the year after they had it as a retest and did it RX. And
Hmm.
every time, like they usually had it when you're getting ready for the open, sometimes some programming has open workouts. So you could get used to open workouts again. And whenever they would have it, I'd always want to retest it. I really, really enjoy it.
That one's crazy. The 55 sounds a little scary, but
It is, it's a lot because you,
yeah.
like
You're
especially as
heavy.
somebody who's, like, never done it, and that was, like, a workout that I was just like, "Can I do this? 55 is a lot, 13 minutes. I'm probably gonna have to, like, do only get deadlifts and wall balls," you
It's
know?
a lot of leg, a lot of hammy.
It is. It is because 'cause you're deadlifting and you're wall balling, and then your
Rowing.
rowing is just like a deadlift. So,
Mhm.
yep.
Ouch. Like, I could feel the burn just talking about it. I'm like, "My
Yeah.
goodness."
But that's
I
one
mean,
of
I
my
can
all-time favorites.
'cause I'm like, "You're really good at all of these skills." I mean, I feel like I haven't seen you handstand push-up that much, but you can do them.
Oh, yeah, I love handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
They're, like, one of my favorite, and like I tell everybody, and if you've been to my class and we talk about handstand push-ups and they're like, me," or wall walks, I went to a gym that literally told you, "If you don't like doing wall walks, get handstand push-ups." And that was just because back in the day, the gym that I went to, the CrossFit gym I went to, the scaled version of handstand push-ups was wall walks. That's just
Mhm.
back in the day what they used to swap them out for. So when they're like,
Makes sense.
"You don't wanna do walks," because I used to complain about walks all the time,
Mhm.
they'd be like, "Well, then get your handstand push-up," and I was like, "Alright, I'll just start working on that then."
And
And
you
so that
got it.
yeah, because I was like, "I don't wanna do this." That sometimes that's like what Blake's drive is, when they're like, "Oh, you don't like this movement at all? Well, then get this movement." And I will try to work all the time on getting that other
So you
movement just
yeah,
because I don't wanna do the other one.
that is so funny. Good to know, mental
Yeah.
note, writing it on my Post-it.
Now with my older age, I don't know, I can just say, "No, I don't wanna do it."
Okay, well, then that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
Cross that out. Just
when I
kidding.
was when I was younger and I
Oh,
was like, "Oh, I wanna do everything, but I don't
and I
wanna
had
do
some
this. This seems cooler, let me try this." Yeah.
you're like, "Yeah, I don't fall for that anymore. Peer
Yeah, no.
pressure."
I'm like, "I'm
That's
old,
hilarious.
I don't care, I don't have to do it."
I don't care about you,
You
or you.
you
No, just you don't get care for it. I was just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, that's a rough one, dude. I do not feel excited to do that. Now I'm curious if Coach Chris would put that on a open prep workout. You should be like, "Hint, hint, bro. We should probably do this one, 16.4, just saying." I
I
can
don't
coach
know.
it.
I'm excited though because it's just, I just get excited to see who's announcing it, where they're announcing it, if the workout, how it goes down.
They
I
should do a
just really
culture
like it.
quell, but for CrossFit, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool, like, just bring back old workouts and just that's all the Open's gonna be this year is just old workouts, and we'll
I
just run
think
it.
they've done that before. Like, they
Have they
used to
for
have
all of the
themes
week?
for for the opens, and one was, like, a retro theme and, um, stuff
Ooh,
like that, or there was one yeah, where you just did retest ones, and I was like, "I like that."
that's pretty
To
cool.
see where it is, so it just depends. I think they try to get the feel of participation, the feel of how to get
Yeah.
people in. Are they working on wanting new people for the
Right.
open? Are they still wanting to support veterans who are still going to CrossFit? And how are they going to make everybody somewhat excited and happy? And I think what truly makes people now excited and happy to do the open are our Friday night lights.
Oh, yeah,
And it
absolutely.
used to not be that way, it was just the open and
Really?
testing. Because I used to never go on Friday. When I
Uh-huh.
first started doing the open, it was Saturday mornings.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so they would have Friday night, but that was because everybody who worked went to the
Mhm.
nighttime class, and at that point, when I started CrossFit and I had moved to Maricopa, I was a morning person. When I started
Um,
CrossFit in California, I was a night person. I did my shift, and then I would just go work out, and then I would go home and go to bed. But when we moved to Southern Arizona, I was a morning person. So I would go Saturday mornings or Friday mornings and do it. So
damn.
how CrossFit and the community has changed is creating these Friday night lights. And I truly didn't know what a Friday night lights was until I came to Kingman. And
Wow.
that's what they started doing, and they would name it that. And then the
Okay.
the themes are what get people excited as well. And
Mhm.
teams. And I know that some people are like, oh my gosh, I don't like being on a team. I'm not competitive. I think it's just the fun aspect of it. And knowing that
Yeah.
because you're on a team, how do I get my team points even if I'm not competitive? It's all these like interlocking things that can go together and going back to like when you start CrossFit and being like, I can't wait to see you come back tomorrow. I feel like
Mhm.
the Friday night lights are very similar to that. And that's what I feel the open is more towards is building that community. And what CrossFit should really hone in on is the biggest thing that's transitioning to is community, which is what you want.
I'm like, "Damn,
Um,
we are so spoiled." I'm like, "I don't think I've ever had any other CrossFit experience other than Kingman CrossFit," and I think that's why it's so hard for me to, like, go to other gyms because I have the same expectation
Yeah.
everywhere else, and it's not the same, but I think that also just speaks to, again, like Blake mentioned, the community and the group of people that you're with, and sometimes you just find that space, and the gym was our space where we just found those people that kinda meshed with us and had those personalities and the dressing
Yeah.
up, all of that. Yeah, I think that just makes for just, I guess, more of an intimate setting and getting to know people better, and it just creates opportunities for you to just interact more with people you don't see and, that go to the morning classes or the afternoon
Mhm.
ones or those you don't go to and see the other coaches that you don't get coached with, and I think it's just an overall it feels like a family barbecue, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Everyone just gets together and we're all just hanging out all night and just doing something we all love, and it's the best. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, I feel it's just like Friday Night Lights is basically like where, yeah, the opens are and your limits, they get tested, right? But those comfort
Mhm.
zones start to disappear. And like you said, the different times that people go, the different friendships. And then that in tune creates a memory week after week for it. And you realize like, my gosh, why was I so nervous to come to this?
Right.
It's a little nerve-wracking do have, like Chris does a video usually explaining what to do. Us coaches usually talk through like, "Hey, this is the times. You do have to sign up for this. You do wanna come early." We have a coach always leading warm up, all of our coaches, and we have volunteers to do the, judging thing. We always have them do judges courses. Like,
Yeah.
it is nerve-wracking because it's your first time and you're like, "Oh my god, I have to be judged," and everything like that, but we take care of you because we
You guys
believe that
do.
each person who comes and does the open wants to better themselves, wants to test themselves, and also have fun with their friends. Because what have we always said in this podcast? It is hard to make friends as adults.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
having these Friday night lights actually helps you to be your weird self and dress up or have fun and not worry and leave proud of yourself and
Mhm.
walk away with something that is exciting that you get to do for the next few Fridays.
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't got no plans, that's for sure. Like, so this is a perfect opportunity for that, and I'm just looking forward to seeing, everybody, like, beat some goals this year and just be there for those moments to cheer them on and give them a hug and give them a fist bump and just sweat it all together, I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's
It's
exciting. There's so many
Mhm.
fun memories of first pull-ups, first toes to bar, heavy lifts, having people do RX,
Mhm.
especially when some of them look at me crazy and I'm like, I'm sorry, who told you to do that weight when you're doing this weight? Simmons has the same expectation. He'll walk through and be like, I'm sorry, what are
Yep.
you doing? No, you're doing this. And
I
I
do
feel
love
like
that.
our members sometimes are like, wait a minute, but that's not. Nope, that's what we're here for. We're here to, when Trisha looked at me sideways that one time and I was like, "Why are you grabbing a 25 pound?" She's like, "'Cause that's what I warmed up with." I'm sorry, 5. And then I remember that I think there was one workout and I was in
And they
California
had
for it.
rowing and handstands, I think was it wall walks or something like that? And she killed it on that one, I forgot
There
what it
was
was.
that, but there was another one that, nobody told her to do RX, and I was like I shamed everybody. I was like, "You guys, she did the first one RX, push she could do all those other ones, it's just gonna be hard for her." And she's like, "Yeah, nobody made me,"
Damn,
and so,
calling out.
yeah, the rowing one, because I remember I had just did it, and I was coaching her daughter, and she got super tired, in an aspect of it, and I said, "Pick up the bar right now!" And Catherine was like, "You're my judge, not her."
The
But it's that
energy is
push, right?
like,
That was her first,
yeah.
I think, year of doing or could have been doing everything RX, and that's just the goal that we have for you guys.
Mhm.
If you did foundations, let's try one scaled.
You gotta trust the coaches, they see you day in and day out. That's why
Yeah.
they're there.
And there's just some workouts that we can be like, "No, you can actually this is the one that you wanna try.
Yeah.
This is the one that you wanna shoot for. This is the one, that you should push." And all these open workouts is you pushing yourself and us pushing you. So that's, again, like, another proud moments to see everybody come in. The thing that I love is, first, what is everybody bringing? Second, everybody's
Mhm.
costumes, and then seeing everybody work out. I love
Yeah.
seeing everybody's costumes and just having that, "Oh my gosh, did you see so and so wear this? Oh my gosh, I would have never thought about that. Oh, look at this food." And just like the conscious of like, "Oh, we know some people are doing macros, so we brought this. Oh, we know that some people like still enjoy like some really good food, so we brought this."
Right.
There's some people who are like, "Oh, I brought 2 different types, so then people who can't have this, I made this one instead." It's
Mm.
just very nice that we all think about each other and we don't judge each other and we're all doing something together morning and nighttime crews. Yeah.
So
So
true.
I'm really excited about it.
I know, bring it on, bring it on.
Okay, as we wrap up this one, remember the open isn't just about where you land on the leaderboard. It's about the courage to sign up, the community that shows up, and the version of yourself that walks away knowing you gave it your all. So, whether you hit a PR, learned a hard lesson, redid the workout, which I have done, maybe not want to do it, or just survived the clock that counts, or
Yeah.
sometimes when people yell at the wrong time. Halfway there,
My gosh.
got 15 minutes left. Every
I
rep,
had to go first.
yes, every rep, every cheer, every Friday night under those lights that matter. Oh my gosh, that reminds me when Dave yelled at Emily that she had 2 minutes left and we had 12 minutes left.
That's why I'm laughing, dude. I was like, "Dude," and she was so
Her
mad.
face, like,
She
I
was
was
so
dying in the
mad.
workout, but her face, she just looked at me like, "Where did the time go?" And I'm like,
I was like,
"What?"
"That sounds right."
It's
Oh, man.
hilarious.
It was
We have all
crazy.
been there when we've, like, seen
Yes.
the clock and been like, "Oh my god, they only have 2 minutes left." I was like, "That was quick." But yes, that
Oh, that
was
was so
funny.
good.
But
Oh.
remember, if this episode is your swig of pre-workout, remember to keep showing up. Don't forget to hit Don't forget to hit those 5 stars, leave a review, do all the goodness for us so then we
Yes.
can keep pushing. And hype up that CrossFit Open season. And if you want to be a part of our affiliate segment episodes, or you got a topic you just want us to dive into next, reach out to us on Instagram. You could DM us at Savagely Scaled or email us at savagelyscaled1@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys and building this community together even stronger. So thanks for sharing the floor with us and meeting us every week to go over this at the whiteboard. But remember, don't be a Karen
Yeah, Sharon.
and keep sharing. And until
Renee,
at the
at the
whiteboard
whiteboard.
again. Bye.
Later.